This is your Daily 5 for Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026. You have likely seen or read something about a robot. I believe the robot's designation is Lightning. That recently, I'll read the headline off this Ars Technica article that I'm going to link in the show notes. Here's the headline. Robot runner handily beats humans in half marathon, setting new record. And the subheading is, a humanoid robot's record half marathon run shows China's speed in robotics. Okay, so this apparently occurred in the last week or so. It looks April 19th. This humanoid robot, which I believe is named Lightning, raced, I believe it said 12,000 other people. Yeah, here it is. There were three robots. All three, I'm just reading from the article, all three top-ranked robot contestants, they did use the word contestants, I thought they would have said competitors, incorporated honors, that's the company, Lightning model, it's the model, to operate autonomously and beat the 12,000 human competitors who ran along a parallel track during a half-marathon event. Okay, so, I'm not going to read the rest. You can read the rest in the article. So there's really two sides to this story, one of which makes complete sense to me, and the other which makes no sense to me. So in terms of the achievement in the field of robotics, this is significant because the same, from what I understand from this article, the same event was held a year ago, and the robots did worse than the human beings. In a year, they have improved the robots so that they can run, again, autonomously from what the article says, and they have beaten the human competitors by a significant margin. So the fact that if you remember how robotics, if you've kept track of this at all, robots often struggle to stay upright taking a few steps. We're now at the point where a robot can run. Not only run, but follow a track and run consistently without falling down every 15 feet or so. And that is end with a significant speed increase. From a robotics perspective, that is awe-inspiring. That is absolutely worth highlighting and celebrating in terms of scientific achievement. But the other side of it, that everybody seems to be making a big deal about, is this idea that, even in the title, handily beats humans, sets new record. What? And who cares? Of course it beat human beings. A robot, if it keeps being improved upon and advanced, will inevitably beat humans. I don't know why this is news to anybody, and I really don't know why anybody really cares. If there are still people who believe that machines, when geared to a certain task and optimized, are not going to outdo people in almost everything where it is a mechanical test, they don't know what world you're living in. It's the same thing when the computers were beating people at chess, and everybody thought that was such a seismic event. And I really don't know why. Because outside of human beings doing something that defies the normal logic of the game, that's outside the parameters of the machine, of course it would eventually beat you at any rule-based game. Because it can compute faster. It can do more projection outcomes than most humans can. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's prodigies and everything, but on a long enough timeline, the machines are always going to win. And the idea of it setting a record, from what I understand, this is the same record that human beings compete for. And I don't get that at all. Why would those records be comparable? That's like me saying that if we're going to set the world record for the 100-meter dash, I think that's more common. Let's have a human being running, a human being on a motorized bike, and one in a Corvette. Let's see who wins. Who do you think's going to win? I don't understand why this is something why this thing has a record that is a human-based record, not a machine-based record. And from what I understand reading this, it's a human-based record, not just other machines. And also, so what? It's a machine. It doesn't have to worry about lactic acid buildup. It doesn't have to worry about hydration. It doesn't have to worry about muscle cramps, sweating, the heat that's involved. I mean, obviously there is some heat consideration. It does have to have a battery. It does have to stay balanced. But those are all things that once you solve them with the parameters that you have, there really is no variation to worry about. You've either solved it or you haven't. Human beings are much more complicated bio-organic machines. And so, of course, eventually, the robots will win. So again, if we're talking about the advancements in robotics, absolutely, I understand completely why people are really, really interested in this, why it's significant, why it is celebrated. That stuff all makes sense to me. But in any point where you're comparing it to people, I'm sorry, my response has to be, so what? Who cares? And it doesn't matter because it was going to be inevitable. Maybe I'm missing something here, and I know a lot of smart people sometimes listen to our show. If you have an explanation as to why I should care about this as far as the human side, please let me know, because right now, I don't get it. Later.